I'm set. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. Um,
Yeah, use the time to get me something to drink.
aha. It's been a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a week. Uh it's been a week. I'll say I keep saying that, but it has. It's been a week. For one, something came out on Switch. I'm sure you've heard about Persona 5.
Yes, indeed.
It came out. It's this little indie game. I don't think people
Mm.
played.
I
It was
hardly known.
yeah, very
Mm. Just about a dozen people or so.
yeah. Only a few people have really
It's it's a
engaged with it.
surprise the dev is still in business with those low sales.
Honestly, I'm surprised people still give a shit. That came out, and of course, I was like, I was gonna at least grab me a physical because I was like, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
maybe one of these days when I decide to like do like a hard mode run for myself for my own entertainment, I'll just play it on
Mm-hmm.
Switch when decide I want to tear out whatever remains of my hair by the time I'm like 40.
When you've had enough of your beard and don't want to shave.
Yeah,
Just gonna say, Persona it is.
yeah. Do I want to turn myself into a wolf?
Yeah.
Do I want to turn myself into a ragged wolf man? Yes. I guess I'm not shaving then. That happens. That's been a lot of it, man. I'll tell you the truth. A lot of my life this last week has been working on me and like consistency and shit and like day to day shit. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
trying to find that flow, that rhythm in life. It's necessary,
Mm-hmm.
but fuck, man, that's hard. It's fucking hard. It's not fucking easy.
Get
I
yourself a timetable that you can work with and then stick to it.
yeah, which I'm really bad at. Like
Mm.
I'm great at setting like I don't want to say broad goals for myself, but like having
Mm-hmm.
like a broad set of things I stick to, right? Like,
Mm.
you know,
Like you say, at the end of the month, I want to have this, just about this many videos done,
right,
and
right.
yeah.
So, like I
Or I
might
want to have this game mostly done by the end of the month or by
yeah.
the end of 2 months or something.
It's like, you know, I
And
set
then the details get a bit messy.
yeah, I don't like it's probably not good because I know when setting
Mm.
goals, you should probably narrow down what your goal is, right? Like that's supposed to be an important
Mm.
part of setting a goal. But I don't do well with that, right? So like for me,
Mm-hmm.
I'll set a goal, but that goal usually is it's vague enough to where if I fuck up, I fuck up, but it's like, well, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't set that as a
But yeah,
term to my
it
goal.
still counts. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's
It's
not
countable.
it wasn't part of the goal, right? Like when I set myself to like every other day, that was easy enough for me
Mm-hmm.
because like I didn't have to set any like super specific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't say what you're gonna do every other day.
Yeah,
What
like
specifically?
yeah, ideally it's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm already doing, but for the most part, I didn't have to
Yeah.
set like the goal super fucking specific in order for it
Mm-hmm.
to be attainable, right? Whereas like now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be up every single morning
Mm-hmm.
at a time, one way or another. That's a little
Mm-hmm.
harder for me, you know, trying to like figure out like, all
Mm.
right, what time? Like I don't care what time I pick. I just gotta pick a fucking time and do
Mm.
it.
And then stick to it. Yep.
Yeah, it's not. I don't. It's not what. It's not the time that matters. It's not like when.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like making sure I have a time and being like I'm gonna be up at this hour, and preferably not just go back to sleep 2 hours, 2 hours later.
Preferably.
Yeah, that
That
there.
sounds like a good combination there. Yeah.
That's the true.
Get up and stay up.
That's the real challenge. Like I'll get up. Like I'll get up in the
Mm-hmm.
morning. It's not a matter of if I'm getting up. It's a matter of do I stay awake. Because there's
Mm-hmm.
been some mornings I'll be up at like 8, 9 o'clock, and I'll be
Mm-hmm.
up and I'll be doing stuff. But like at noon, I go lay down. I'm not back up until like fucking 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So at that point, it's like I just lost
Mm.
like 5 hours out of my day because I decided to fucking get up that day.
Whoops.
It happens, man. It fucking happens. I just do
Mm.
the best you can with what you got. Nothing else you could really do but that. That's unfortunate, but yeah, man. Chrono Trigger's fun.
Mm.
That's been a blast.
Yeah.
I'm the more I
Mm-hmm.
play that, the more I'm like,
Oh.
man, this is
Mm-hmm.
fun. This is a simple, straightforward video game. I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
It's I got to
Yeah.
test out my shorter time schedule for these videos so they fall closer to within like that 30-minute mark now.
Mm-hmm.
At least for this one. My goal is to have everything fall into that time bracket, but Persona 5 is a little bit different for me, so I'm just like, okay, everything except for Persona 5 is going to
Mm-hmm.
fall into that time bracket. Once Persona 5 is done, I officially tear the band-aid
Mm-hmm.
off and everything falls in that time bracket.
All right.
So that's
Cool.
the goal. Whether or not I hit it, we'll see. But
Mm-hmm.
that is the established goal for myself.
Cool.
How about you, sir? I know the world is a tiring, busy place, especially for busy people like you.
Yeah, gaming wise, let's see. I've been a bit busy with different types of games that we normally don't really talk about on the show. Like, what I always do, since quite some time, I always have some idle games running in the background.
I've
You might have
noticed.
noticed that from Steam and all. And one of them, Melvor Idol, which essentially takes stuff from RuneScape and puts that into an idle game. That one had an expansion out this week, and I've been playing that one a bit
Mm-hmm.
since I started a new run there, which yep, still quite nice. And obviously, since I'm starting it completely new, I'm gonna take a while to get to the really new stuff because they mostly added late game content and game content. Like they expanded for up to now, the max level for all the skills was level 99, and that dictated what kind of enemies you could reach and what kind of equipment you could use. And now they upped that to 120 on all things. So pretty much with all the options, you have now more on the end to it, which is nice. And besides that, yeah, done a bit of idle skilling, which is another one of those idle games. Just been playing that on the side, and that one also got a big update this week, which added another feature. And besides that, I've also been starting out a game in a genre that I don't play as much, but that I like to do from time to time. And that genre is racing. Specifically, there's been a sale on Forza Horizon 4 this week, which went quite uh-huh. Yeah, don't go farther back. We don't want to rip the cord.
I'm sorry. What? I'm,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe
Yeah.
my headset maybe malfunctioned. This isn't the
Uh-huh.
nicest pair of cans I've ever had in my life. It's possible. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I misheard you, but I heard
Uh-huh.
you in racing.
Yep. Heard correctly. It's I've I mean it's not like I never played those games, but I've never played them like either religiously or main as a main genre. For a while I didn't really play them, but back in the days I did kind of like them when in the DOS days there was the Lotus Turbo Challenger or something like that, I think, which was one of those games that really had nice sounds with the PC speaker, even. Which, well,
All I can think of when I think of
mm-hmm,
racing games is
mm-hmm,
Daytona USA.
mm-hmm,
That's the song for Daytona
mm-hmm,
USA. Let's go away, bro. That
mm-hmm,
shit is like, oh my god,
mm-hmm,
Daytona. Like that shit is amazing. That's all I ever.
mm-hmm,
That sets the bar for
yeah,
me when it comes to just music in a
mm-hmm,
racing game. Sorry, as you were.
yeah,
My
understandable,
my bad.
understandable. Yeah, no problem. Which definitely understandable. I haven't played that game much because obviously being a PC guy mainly at the time, after the Game Gear, means I had a very different
Yeah.
selection of games there. Which that one, and there was one that is now on a certain platform, meaning the Wipeout series, where I had one of the games back then. I think it was called Wipeout 2097, I think it was. I'm trying to not mix that one up with the newer one, which was 2048, I think, which was on the PS Vita.
Ah.
And after that on the Wipeout collection as well. But Wipeout, I liked, especially because it was more of a futuristic racer and didn't just have the regular cars, which was a nice thing back then. And then I just played a few back then from time to time. Had quite a big pause of not playing the genre, and yeah, I thought, okay, the Horizon games are generally regarded as one of the best in the genre. So I thought, yeah, okay, this one is now priced quite decently. It was the Ultimate Edition for Horizon 4 for about $35. So I thought, yep, that's all right. Let's try it out. And yep, it's pretty good so far.
All right.
And yeah, and especially given, I agree with a friend of mine that says the Horizon 5, in terms of the setting, is worse than 4.
Oh.
Significantly, because, I mean, 5 has Mexico, so the variation in locations, there's not really that much in terms of the different seasons. Like winter, autumn, fall, summer is much more different in Horizon 4 than in 5. Because, I mean, yeah, Mexico versus England.
Yeah, that's a
So,
pretty big
yeah.
variation in like location.
Yep.
I think like England you're just gonna get like countrysides and like maybe raceways and that's about it. But like Mexico, you have a giant ass variation in like locales you
No,
can do.
actually, Britain is quite different. Has quite a bit of variation because you have cities, you have countryside, you have quite a bit of difference there. It's in terms of variation, I can't really complain there, and especially due to the seasons, because winter makes it much more different there, and then there's obviously rainfall in fall mostly makes it much different affair. So you have, from what my friend has told me, I haven't played 5 personally. I saw him play it a bit, but the variations between seasons are much less in 5. So that's an advantage with 4. And they also were a bit lazy with stuff like you have those barn finds that give you specific old-timer cars mostly. And with the UK setting, the barns make sense, or much more sense, because they're, well, rather UK specific. And in the Mexico setting, they just plugged that in right there, just like that, and didn't adapt it really to the Mexico setting, apparently, which, bit weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been driving around in a few different cars there. Mainly, I haven't really picked a favorite brand so far. I've been driving around with an Audi, a BMW, Lancia, Nissan, I think, as well, and a few others. Just trying them out and see which one feels the best.
I just thought about it. I remember the one racing game I got really into back when I was in back when I was in like early high school. It was an arcade game. I went to an actual arcade at a mall to play this fucking game. Initial D.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
dude, I played
Haven't
the
played that one, but I do know the anime, so
bro.
yeah.
I put like bro.
You can
Listen,
imagine what that one's like.
bro. I
Mm-hmm.
put like I grinded. Like I would go to the
Mm.
mall, and I would drop like a five
Mm-hmm.
spot, like on the
Mm.
spot, like a 5 spot worth of quarters
Mm-hmm.
to
Okay.
work to like get my technique down.
Mm-hmm.
Every weekend I'd be down there because Initial D would give you a card you'd put in and it would track your stats
Mm-hmm.
on that card.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
whenever
Mm.
you would race against someone, you both put your cards
Mm-hmm.
in and it would track your stats against each other.
Ah.
So,
Hmm.
I
That's nice.
so I started getting out there
Uh-huh.
grinding, right? So I'd come in there on
Mm-hmm.
a weekend and I put down like 20, like 15,
Mm-hmm.
20 races, 15, 20 just
Mm.
solo games. Next thing I
Mm-hmm.
know, there's like 3 or 4 other people now playing Initial D. So now we got a
Mm-hmm.
racing ring going, So
Nice.
now, we all have
Hmm.
our choice of cars, and people like Mike. You don't have to switch cars. You can't beat him with that
Uh-huh.
car, man. He knows what he's doing, dude. Like, how are you gonna beat him? It's like, don't worry about it. I got this. It's no Initial D. Initial D was
Nice.
that was the game. That was
Hmm.
it. Shit was
Nice.
dope.
Huh. I haven't ever seen arcades that give you that option personally.
I
Mainly, obviously, since we hardly had an arcade scene over here for most of the time, and
That was
the
mostly an
main.
Initial D thing. That
Mm-hmm.
was
Okay.
primarily like a thing
Cool.
with their arcade units,
Mm-hmm.
which was
Yeah.
they
My
would
main arcade experience has been in Hungary,
yeah.
where when I was visiting a family there. And there was actually one arcade that at in one of these summer holidays we found that had a racer. I don't remember the name of it, but it was some kind of dirt racing, I think. But it was isometric, and you did have a wheel to
Hmm.
just a steering wheel for it. So that was nice.
Nice.
Didn't play it that much as we could because we were obviously on a very limited budget back then, and
Right.
just went. It was in a part of a what was that? Kind of a not exactly a pub. It was that's kind of an open pub where you also had a dance floor and all. So that was nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but those were the main games. I also played a bit of Disgaea 6 now that it was on sale on PC, so I got that.
I noticed.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, so far it works. Obviously, works fine performance-wise.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be remiss
Yeah.
if it didn't.
Haven't gotten to the part yet where it unlocks the auto battles, but yeah, I'm gonna get there soon enough. I'm pretty sure. So
Okay.
then it's gonna be going on the grind.
Nice, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's gaming wise, that's been pretty much it. I also got me a small edition for the Steam Deck. It's a small SSD additionally,
Oh, yeah.
which I
Okay.
can connect externally.
Yeah, I could see. I could see
Yeah.
that maybe being
Mm-hmm.
necessary.
Well, yeah, kind of necessary. The space I have on it is nice already, but I got this to just put on some other titles that I can test and just quickly switch out when I'm here and comfortable on the couch. And yeah, this one was a I found a decent sale on a 2 terabyte SSD,
Mm.
and that's in there in this
Nice.
additional case. Yeah, had to do the usual customizing on the deck itself to automatically load the SSD on startup, which that's one of the things that Valve could still improve with the Steam Deck, but yeah, it's not that much of a hassle. There's manuals for that. It doesn't take too long, but it's still a bit of a hassle in comparison
Yeah.
to just plugging it in and having it there.
Instead of just plugging it and going. You know what I mean? Just that plug and
Yep.
play experience.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna cover
Right.
I'm gonna cover a story I wanted to cover.
Okay.
It's Twitch related. I've taught. Yeah.
Yes.
This. All right. So listen, everybody. I want you all to understand once again. I am not a part of Twitch
Mm-hmm.
culture, but this is one of those Twitch stories that popped off a week or so ago and caught
Mm-hmm.
my attention. Now, before I go any further, I want to put something out there. All right. There's a game we all got to play on the internet. We all play this game. It is the game we got to play. And the game ain't always the same for everybody. The guys play a different game than the ladies. That's just how it is. But we all play in the game, whether you like it or not. So this is about a Twitch star by the name of Amaranth. And this popped off really quick because during one of her streams, it was revealed that she was married. Now,
And that's not all.
yeah. So one of the things that has kind of always been a thing when it comes to this kind of culture is that the people who are the streamers are, especially if you're an attractive lady, you're probably single. or at the very least, you don't say that you're not single. You don't say.
I was about to say that's what the viewers would think.
Right. You don't say that you're with somebody. That's again, like I said before, there's a game.
It's just usually not talked about.
Yeah, it's part of the game, baby. You playing the game. That's all there's to it. You playing the game.
It's also something that doesn't really concern anyone else.
It doesn't.
It's their private it's their private matters. So
it doesn't concern anybody else, but we're going to get into
Exactly.
why in this particular situation that was kind of a point of contention for her personally. So during the stream, as far as we can tell, her husband calls her and shit pops off very poorly. Now, from what I've looked into, it seems like he calls her and she didn't mute the stream. Some people thought she forgot to mute the stream. And some people were like, she didn't. As far as as far as what I've looked up, it looks like she just chose not to mute the stream. Like she just
I
didn't.
think it was a deliberate decision on her part.
And oh boy, homeboy is on some next level shit. He's like yelling at her and shit. Like he's being loud. He's like, leave, come over, come right now, do this. And it's like, bro, what? Like, she's crying on stream and shit over this nonsense. So after the phone call ends, we get more details. One, she talks about how her not mentioning that they were married and whatever. Yeah, that was his idea. According to her, which at this point I'm fairly close. I'm fairly good on believing her. I have reasons. According to her, it was his idea. He was like, it's good for the business model. And again, like I said before, we all got to play this game. And she was.
Yeah. Although I'd say at the time when they decided that, it was probably a mutual decision. Like she probably didn't have any problems with that because obviously she'd agree that it was a good business decision. She's not dumb.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. No, absolutely. Yeah. She's one of the higher grossing Twitch streamers on the platform, right?
Yeah, and not necessarily just because of Twitch, but yeah.
Right, no,
she definitely has
money ain't a problem. She's exactly. Fine. So when I bring that up, I mean to say like how much of a problem is it for her really? So she decides. So during the stream, she starts putting out some receipts from the husband that he had sent her in a lot of texts. Texts like, "Hey, if you don't call me back, I'm gonna empty out your bank accounts. I'm gonna delete your socials. I'm gonna do this. You got 2 minutes. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna leave you with nothing," which, you know. Classy. Turns out he had control of most of her stuff, Most of
Mm.
like a lot of the reason she was grinding was because of him. Because he was like, you gotta work. You gotta
Mhm.
get this money. You gotta work. What you doing? You should be working. Like she couldn't, according to her, she couldn't go places. She couldn't really go see people like she wanted to because he was like, no, girl, you gotta work. You gotta put in that
Mhm.
grind. So this stream gets pretty heated. It's a pretty
Yep.
intense stream. And then once the stream ends, we don't really hear from her for a bit. It's a
Mhm.
solid like almost a week before we hear from her again. There were
Mhm.
a lot of wellness calls placed trying to get in touch with her because people were obviously fucking concerned. This was a pretty big thing
Naturally.
to have happen. And
Mhm.
she comes back on stream like a week or so later, and she's
Mhm.
like, "He's getting help. Help. I'm getting legal help. The accounts are
Mhm.
back in my name.
Mhm.
She's getting her life back together, which is fantastic." And I
Mm.
want to just say, man, the
Mhm.
responses I saw to this whole thing
Mhm.
were about what I expected on the internet.
I
Were
mean,
about what I
yeah,
expected. If it like I was
a
looking up
mixed bag to put it lightly, I'd say.
the streamers, were
Mhm.
pretty much all in the same boat. Like Moist
Mhm.
Critical was a great one because he was like, wait, well, one, I totally believe her. Like, what, y'all think she
Mhm.
did this for attention? Come on, guys. She's one of the bigger streamers on the platform. She can get attention super easily. What, you think she did this for
Mhm.
money? Girl has plenty of money. She ain't hurting out here for money.
Well, given that she didn't have control of her accounts, hmm.
Yeah,
It, given that
that's
whole thing, but just as an aside, it just I don't know. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna definitely believe that there were problems there between the two.
mm,
It just seems a little weird that suddenly, after all that time, if he's so controlling and abusive, yeah, after a week of that, suddenly she has her accounts back. That's hmm,
yeah, not
quite a bit quick.
yeah, I'm not a
I
hundred.
mean, I don't know what happened in behind the scenes. It just seemed a bit weird when I heard
Yeah,
when that happened so quickly.
yeah,
It's if it just happened like that, that's good, definitely. She should have control of her stuff, and it's definitely should be an abusive relationship is never a good thing.
yeah. Gonna be
Yeah.
honest. If the legal system moved that
Hmm.
fucking fast, that's pretty impressive for the American legal system. Gonna be 100% honest. The,
Depending if the legal system was involved there, because I mean, it might. I'll say it might be that it was just that she went public and that was too much for him. That made it so that he didn't see another chance to resolve this. So he
yeah,
said, "Okay, fuck it. It's this is out now. I can't do anything.
yeah. I can't
To,
hide. I
I
can't.
can't.
Yeah,
I can't do anything without making this worse for me. So I'm just gonna give in and give her the accounts back, which
yeah,
very possible,
yeah.
which
It's
might be very possible.
either like the
Mm-hmm.
point is I found this situation to be like
Mm-hmm.
a microcosm of
Yeah.
like the fucked upness of the internet in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, certainly that. Yeah.
like I said when I started this segment, there's a game we all gotta play. We all play the
Mm-hmm.
game when you in the public eye and you out here doing what you doing.
Mm-hmm.
She was playing the game, to some degree. She's playing the game. It's not even look,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I agree with the game. I ain't even saying the
Mm.
game's always fair. I'm just saying the
Yeah.
game is the game. You gonna play it. Like you want to be if you want to be a part of it, sometimes you gotta play the game. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
found this entire
Yeah.
thing just to be a microcosm of fucked up for me because I was like, damn.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, damn, you really does.
Yeah.
That just kind of proves, man. That's like that.
Mm-hmm.
You really never know. You really
Yep.
never fucking know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's that whole
Yeah.
story of like the dude who lives across the street from you in your neighborhood has like 25 women like trapped in his fucking basement or some shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then
but
the police show up and
even
march.
aside, even aside from that, doesn't matter what happened there. I mean, not doesn't matter, but just aside of that, the one of the other fucked up things in this whole thing is additionally how some of the viewers and supporters reacted.
Ooh, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Hmm.
I wasn't gonna. I didn't. Ooh, I wasn't gonna
I mean,
say
that's
anything.
absolutely a thing. I mean, that's
Oh, it
absolutely a
totally
part of
is.
this whole mess.
It totally
Like,
is.
what
Totally
was
is.
it? That they they react like, okay, hey, I've been supporting you with donations and subs and all for this whole time, and what was it? What was it? One that wanted to meet you at TwitchCon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think in this case it was one of that, but and that, yeah, obviously, and then he said something about, yeah, okay, I'm not going to support you anymore. You're dead to me, and I have this other streamer that I'm supporting, and I've been supporting her before I ended this. I've been supporting her for a while, and it's going well with her. She's letting me moderate as well, and
Yeah.
people in this whole sphere are weird.
Yeah. No, it's some like creepy parasocial shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
People get on some weird shit, my man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know
Yep.
what it is. I don't know necessarily what it is about Twitch that does that to people necessarily. I don't even know
Mm.
if it's like just Twitch, but
I don't
people
think it's
be
specifically Twitch. I don't think it's specifically Twitch. It's probably just generally streaming and whatever other platforms like OnlyFans, TikTok, whatever. All those platforms, I think, have probably have the same problem.
but yeah.
It's the parasocial thing in general is the issue there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
deeply uncomfortable. You
Yeah,
know
it's essentially the same that problem that many celebrities have,
yeah.
just on a different kind of in a different kind of setting. But it's essentially the same.
Well, I'm going to move stories cuz I think I've
Hmm.
said my piece on this
Yeah,
story. But I'm going to talk about the next
sure.
story, CD. And it's a follow
Mm-hmm.
up to a story we covered last week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wasn't expecting there to be a follow up to that story because I didn't.
At least not a follow up like this, right?
Yeah, we get our occasional. We get to follow up on stories sometimes, but this was one of those sort of
Mm-hmm.
follow ups I wasn't expecting. I probably should have, but I wasn't
Mm.
expecting it. So during the week, um, Jason Schreier broke the news that Bloomberg, in his own investigating,
Mm-hmm.
got a hold, decided to do some research on Miss Helena Taylor's story
Mm-hmm.
from when she dropped those tweet videos about her time working with Platinum
Yep.
for or negotiating, I guess I should say.
About what
Yeah,
happened with Bayonetta 3.
yeah, with that with Bayonetta 3,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
well, uh,
Paints a slightly different picture than what we've been shown before, I'll say.
yeah. So VGC also did their own investigating for this,
Mm-hmm.
and they were able to corroborate many of Bloomberg's points that they made, which at this
Mm-hmm.
point now significantly does show that this was fact. If two different groups can corroborate a story, and who's to say they have the same exact sources? Not to say they talk to the same exact people. Who's to say?
Yep.
But they were able to
Mm-hmm.
corroborate at least a couple of points here. The
Mm-hmm.
points that they were able to corroborate specifically was that Platinum wanted to rehire her last summer
Mm-hmm.
for the role. The next point, which is in, I won't say contradiction to what
Mm-hmm.
she said, but during her video, she stated that they were offering her 4,000 to
Yep.
voice the role.
For the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, 4,000 for the whole thing. And this was an important detail because a lot of the outrage came from the idea of you want her to voice a whole game for $4,000. That's where the outrage came from. But according to VGC and Bloomberg, from their own sources, they were able to cite that she was offered 3 to 4K per session, upwards of 5 sessions, equaling out
around 4 to 5 sessions.
4 to 5 sessions.
The plan.
Yeah. Coming out to around 15K total.
Which would have been a significant increase compared to Bayonetta 2.
And they can also confirm that the residuals. Her wanting residuals.
I'm guessing that's exactly.
She wanted residuals.
Yeah.
From this, Bloomberg, when they did theirs, when they did their initial report before VGC corroborated, they had pretty much a lot of the same things. They attempted to hire Helena Taylor, paying between 3 to 4K per session, and not for the whole game. Taylor then asked for a 6-figure sum in residuals, which Platinum Games denied. The 6-figure sum part,
which is
6 figures, my nigga. 6 figures, my nigga. 6 figures.
Talk about delusions of grandeur.
6 figures? Come on, bruh.
What did she say? She wanted a decent living wage? And you're asking for 6 figures?
Now,
if that's true, then you have a very interesting thought process.
Let me just say the 6 figures part was not corroborated. The 6 figures part was not corroborated by.
That's
VGC.
why I'm saying if that's true. Because
but my Nick, 6 figures, bro. She asked for 6 figures plus royalties, bro. Come on, man. 6 figures? Who the fuck? Like, yeah, she's
extreme.
She's good. She's a good voice actor. She does a great job with Bayonetta. But Nick, 6 figures?
Nope. And to be fair to her, I'm not sure. Obviously, this is just that one source, and it might be true, it might not. But one version where it might have been true is maybe that she gave a last demand as a sort of fuck you to them, in turn after they gave her their offering of the 3 to 5. If she was in the thinking, maybe by mistake, that they were offering her 4K for the entire thing, I don't know. Maybe it might be a possibility that she was in error there. We're not perfect. We're all human.
Yeah.
Then that she was then enraged and just mailed them back like okay, I want 100,000 plus residuals. And fuck you, or something.
Right, middle finger, and
essentially like something like that.
Head for the
door. And that might have gone through as for that source that might have understood it that way, maybe. But that's speculative.
So when it comes to the Bloomberg article. Taylor did respond to that article. With the account saying that this account is an absolute lie, and said that Platinum is trying to save their ass in the game. She said she stood by everything she said in the video, and I'd like to put this whole bloody thing behind me, quite frankly, and get on with my life in theater. And you know what? That's something I want to mention really quickly. Ma'am, with all due respect, you started it. Like, no offense. No, like, to be fair, this is the equivalent, my dude, of me walking up and stepping on your crisp-ass Nikes, all right? I just walk up to you and step on your crisp-ass Nikes, and you decide to lay hands on me, so you beat the shit out of me, and I'm like, bro, I just want to move on. Like, come on, dog. Like, you walked up on me first. Ain't nobody, like, nobody was talking to you. Nobody was messing with you. I just walked up and stepped on your Nikes. Now you putting hands on me, and I'm acting like I'm the one that's getting.
You're acting surprised that there's a reaction.
Yeah, like, come on, man. What?
Something like that. Like it's you just pass by some nice dinner table and they are eating there, and then you take a handful of mud and throw it on the table, and you're surprised that they react negatively.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But here's my thing. I'm gonna speculate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I like to
Right.
speculate a little bit. So here's my thing, right? From what I've heard, when she dropped that video, she was breaking NDA. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, probably.
So,
Very likely. I mean,
So-
stuff like
so here's
revealing the numbers is usually not done, and probably NDA'd.
so here's my thing, right? Because I was when that Bloomberg and the VGC thing came out, the first thing in my mind, right? I'm thinking like from her. I'm thinking like she dropped those videos as far as we can see unprovoked. Like there was no new trailers, there was nothing going on that weekend. Like you know what I mean?
No, not specifically, because we knew the release date. We've known that for a while.
Right. Like
They might have dropped the. Let's just quickly check. They might have dropped the new trailer, possibly.
would it have been that day though, or like recently, like
Let's
super recently?
see.
Because like
Might have been. We had the Nintendo Direct in September. There was the Bayonetta 3 trailer in there.
well that
from
was
what I can
that was
tell.
September.
Which is a few weeks before, but not that far away.
So okay.
So that might have set her off, maybe.
So hear me out. Hear me out, right? So like put yourself I'm trying to put myself in like her shoes, right? So I'm like I'm a voice actor and I feel like I just got done dirty. Right? I presume I've been done dirty. Now.
Yeah, a year ago.
Yeah, I feel
I mean,
like
it was last summer. The whole thing.
I feel like I've been because here's the thing, like I feel like I've been done dirty, so like I'm gonna just put it out there and break NDA. Okay, now I'm not stupid. I'm assuming, and I know that once I break NDA, I'm probably not getting another job in voice acting, like. In gaming voice acting. It's probably not going to happen.
Yep.
So my thing is, she drops these videos, and according to Jason Schreier, by the time he put out that, or by the time the article from Bloomberg went out, she had amassed almost like over 1 million hits on those videos alone. So like, what were you thinking was going to happen? Like, why would you even lie? Like you broke NDA just to lie? Like, to me, that just blows my mind. Like, I get burning a bridge.
Weird.
Like, burning a bridge, yeah. I've burnt my fair share. But at least when I burn a bridge, like, I get something out, you know what I mean? I get something out of it. Because then I'm thinking, like, okay, so you burn the bridge, you do these videos, you break NDA, what do you get? They're not going to hire you. Like, they're not going to put you back as Bayonetta. Like, you know this.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that's not...
Especially 1 week before release, essentially.
Yeah, you're not getting the position as Bayonetta.
1 or 2 weeks.
That's not happening. So,
Yeah.
that's out the question. Definitely. What are your... I can't put my mind there because it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. This entire thing just doesn't add up. I genuinely don't see a point in breaking NDA and then lying. Like, to me, that just comes off as really fucking stupid. Like, you gonna dead ass lie? And the thing is, at first I was like, okay, maybe she thought that like nobody would like follow up, which to me is.
I mean.
I know that sounds ridiculous, but maybe she thought nobody would dig deeper. They would just take her at her word, right? They would just
Sure. Sure.
I get it. You don't believe it, but that's
Nope.
it's nice to see your skepticism is as strong as ever, sir.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end it with that. That was I have a hard time.
And
I just have a hard time
this,
believing you break NDA to fucking lie. Like to me
yeah.
that just comes off as like not like that's not shooting yourself in the foot. That's chopping your damn foot off. Like
That's a sawn off shotgun with multiple barrels. Then
yeah, just completely taking your
just
foot
like
off.
that. And the other thing that wasn't really as much present in my mind last time we talked about this. She's also part of the same union as Jennifer Hale. She's also in SAG-AFTRA.
I did not know that.
So the running rates for voiceovers, the minimums are the same for both, essentially, because it's both off-camera performance. So
What was she mad about then? Yeah.
that's the thing, because I don't know. The 4,000 would be a bit weird in terms of a rate, because let's see. While yes, the agreement wage table minimums would allow for that, it's quite unlikely, honestly, to get to that.
Again, man.
I don't know. It's really, the whole thing is rather weird.
Again, like I said, like you're going to burn the bridge in voice acting to then fucking lie. Like to me, like I almost
I mean, she might have plans to just not voice act anymore.
Oh, like
go into other acting stuff.
Oh, like she was already gonna step out of voice acting anyway, so she's like, burn
would be a possibility.
Would be a
possibility.
Just burn the bridge behind her as she leaves. I mean, yeah, okay, take the nuclear option. Maybe not my choice, but
yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know obviously what her plans are, but
according to her statement, she wants to get on with her life in theater, so
yeah, so that might have played a part in the whole thing.
She might have wanted.
She just, yeah.
Anyways,
I don't know.
Anyways, I want to get to this last story before it gets too much later. hey, CD, have you noticed a trend with businesses shutting down and then people not finding out that they're out the job until it's announced on fucking Twitter? Has that not been?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had a few of those.
Seems to be a pretty common fucking thing in this industry. Not entirely sure why. Seems to happen a lot.
Yeah.
So
weird.
Published on October 17th, Comcast shut down G4 after 1 year after relaunch and lays off remaining staff. All right, so a little backstory. G4 was at best a niche channel when it might have been popular. I remember.
Although the original, obviously, G4 TV went on for quite a while.
Yes.
G4... 2002 to 2014.
Yeah, it went on for quite a while. It was already, like, when I was watching it, it was, like, early 2000, like mid to, early 2000s. And that was when it was just G4. And it was already a very niche channel with very niche programming for a very particular kind of crowd. So, on one hand, I kind of get why it didn't succeed long term, especially with, like, the fucking internet. like with being able to get information way easier than turning on a TV and such, I kind of get it. But I was always really kind of confused by, like, G4 making a comeback now. Like, to me, that always just seemed... I don't know, like... Weird. Yeah, it just never made sense.
Yeah.
So, Comcast decided, well, this isn't doing well. We're not getting the kind of views we want. We're gonna cut it off. And oh boy,
Hmm. Yeah, I guess people did watch.
yeah, Gerard at the completionist
Mm-hmm.
found out
Yeah.
he no longer had a job because of a Wario 64 post. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Mm-hmm.
tough. That's hella tough.
Mm-hmm.
That's hella tough. I can't, bro. I'd be mad. Like,
Yeah. He probably was mad, but I think he didn't let that madness go off on Twitter, unlike a certain other person.
wait, who else? Wait, who else? Who else popped off? I'm sorry. Did I
A
miss?
certain Adam Sessler.
Oh no.
He went on a tirade and shouted at people on Twitter.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
I think he forgot his crazy pills at that day.
Yeah.
Cause he was,
Oh,
he was like you'd expect Adam Sessler nowadays.
Yeah. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
He is,
yeah. I'm not surprised that Adam
mm-hmm.
Sessler probably had a breakdown of
Uh-huh.
like epic proportion from finding out
Uh-huh.
he was fired.
Yeah. I mean,
Um.
I don't know how he found out he was fired, but yeah.
Oh
Oh boy.
no. Oh that. Oh okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
He
Yeah.
went on Twitter and yeah,
Woo!
he
Homeboy. Yo.
essentially he went on Twitter and he chose violence.
God damn. Man, it's like it's like he walked up in the club and just started swinging on everybody. Didn't matter who you were, who you was
Mm-hmm.
with.
You're looking at him funny. You're
Bro,
getting one.
bro, you just looked at him. You didn't even look at him funny.
Yeah,
You just
essentially, yeah. You just moved.
yeah, you
You
just
bam. You
But
didn't even have to look at him. Bam.
but you know what though? Like I'm
Yeah.
not how do I say this? I
Mhm.
how do I s- I I'm going to say it. Of
Mhm.
all the ridiculous things I feel like Adam Sessler has had stupid ass shit over,
Mhm.
depending on how he found out, I almost don't blame him. I
It,
almost
I'd
again
say
depend
depends.
depending on how he
Yeah.
found out. If he
Yeah.
found out the same way Gerard did, bro, I don't blame you. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't blame you. I'm not about to sit here and drag this man. That's how he found out. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it.
Mm.
I'm not dragging him.
Hmm.
You can do it. I ain't doing it. I'm not following you on this path,
Although,
Sadie.
although I think he's been out before this whole thing.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because yeah, I think. Let's see here. Because they did already have layoffs a month before,
Yeah.
and I think he was part of that.
Of the
I
first set
think.
of layoffs, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, think so. So he might have built that. Might have built that up. He might have built up the rage since then. Something like that.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. But again,
Mm-hmm.
man, like G4 was a niche thing to begin with, and G4 this time around, like honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that Gerard even talked about it on the completionist, I
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't have even known it was back.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
if
the first time I really learned about it, I think, was probably the whole reaction uh, to the whole that speech Frost gave.
oh yeah, yeah,
I
okay.
think that was the when it was really in my mind that oh yeah, there's something there again.
Oh yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
That's back.
Yeah,
Oops.
that's back, and yeah, and I wonder how long it's gonna be back.
Well, we
If
know
that's
now
if
a
that's
year.
how they're working.
A year,
Yeah.
CD. A year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be.
Yeah, and it was also quite funny when speaking of the first layoffs. Just when that happened, Frosk also tweeted out a "I survived." Classy. And then a week later, she was gone. Whoops.
Cool.
So yeah,
gonna
that whole thing
gonna,
was a mess.
gonna give it my John Oliver cool. Just cool. That's
Uh-huh.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll be
That whole
honest.
thing was failed from the get-go.
I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of tired
Mm-hmm.
of these. I'm kind of tired of companies doing people dirty like this, and not telling people.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's fucked up. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you gonna fire me, but don't let me
Yep.
find out in some fucked up way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I gotta find out from
Don't
Warrior.
quietly push the button, put out the press release, and let me find out through that. That's just bullshit.
Imagine getting your walking papers from Wario 64.
Yeah. Yeah. Although it being Comcast, I'm not too surprised, honestly.
Wario 64 is the one who served you your walking papers.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
a tough way to go. Gonna be real, man. That's a tough way to go. I don't know, man. Gerard handled it like a damn champ because I probably would have been popping off. I, I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
I'm a,
Although probably more against the company.
yeah, I'd be popping off against the company. I would at
Which,
least,
yeah, that would be very deserved since
yeah.
Comcast, yeah, well, it's Comcast.
Congratulations, congratulations, everybody. You're an asshole,
Mm.
man. This week, this fucking week, man. This
Mm-hmm.
fucking week. I got a little time left. Ooh. So, Konami did a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Konami did a thing. That was kind of well,
Mm-hmm.
it was
Certainly did
cool in
something.
concept, but people
Mm-hmm.
quickly pointed out to me personally because I
Mm-hmm.
was not aware. I don't keep up like that. That
Mm-hmm.
while the announcement was cool, something attached to the announcement maybe wasn't as
Yeah, not so great.
not so great. So they announced a Silent Hill remake, and
Mm-hmm.
it's being developed by Bloober Team.
Mm-hmm.
So
And there we have the problem.
I don't know much about this, to be honest. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what about Bloober Team has your skepticism alarms blaring.
Well, for one, it's a Western development team. They're from Poland.
Okay.
And giving a classic Japanese horror IP to a Western developer,
Ooh.
for one, that's by default bad.
Not a
And
great.
on the other hand, they've done stuff like The Medium, which isn't all that great to begin with. So yeah, that's not the best things to start. And people that are more familiar with Silent Hill 2 have pointed out that just from the trailer, it's pretty evident that they have missed the point of the whole thing.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very hard to do though, because Silent Hill
Mm-hmm.
2 isn't. It's not. How do I say this? It's layered. There's layers to this game, and you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's layered and it's very Japanese.
Yeah, incredibly Japanese. So
Mm-hmm.
putting it. Like, I wouldn't inherently have a problem with it with a Western dev doing it if there was confidence in the Western dev, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's definitely it would have to be a very good team to begin with. because even then they are really fighting an uphill battle in terms of difficulty of remaking this, because just the whole that it's, for one, it's layered, and that it's very the visuals, the whole imagery, the symbolism,
Yeah, I get it.
the whole symbolism and all, very Japanese. So giving that to a Western dev that has no experience with that is just
Little
I mean,
unusual.
it's not the best choice, to say the least. I get that Konami does have to outsource their projects because they're just not the same as back in the day. They don't have the manpower for that in terms of a development team and all. But they could have chosen someone else.
Yeah, they could have chosen.
I don't know who, but
Yeah.
there had to there must be a better choice than that.
I
So,
almost would.
I mean, I wonder what the other projects are gonna be like, because there have been multiple projects announced.
Because I know,
So
I know they already have like the Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster, but that's a
but
remaster, so
but
that shouldn't be.
that one's a much easier thing to do, because you have your game done. You just have to remaster the graphics and the audio, maybe, depends.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to completely remake the game.
I wonder though,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we're in a day and age where the word remake might not always
Mm-hmm.
mean the same thing.
Yeah,
Like no,
but
like
this is definitely a remake.
oh, is it? It's not like they're not just calling it a remake, and
No,
like it's not just the
it's a
same. Is it like
mm-mm.
it's not like The Last of Us Part One, where it's like the same?
The trailer had different text. It was the you noticed on the animations the dialogue was changed.
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
that's the whole thing why people noticed that they missed the mark.
oh no,
That the whole thing was done differently.
oh no. They
Yeah.
they're letting some. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You see, because in my head I was thinking, well, they're calling it a remake. It might not be like a
Mm-mm.
remake, but if it's like an actual,
It's not just a remaster, like upgrading the graphics and all.
oh, so
Mm.
okay, yeah, maybe this might be a
I
terrible
mean,
idea.
with this one, it probably wouldn't be even possible to make a remaster.
Yeah, we've seen how that goes. That didn't work.
Yeah, not just that, but it's possible they don't even have the code base and all that ready for that
No,
anymore from
no,
that time.
no.
So,
The only version that I
hmm
know, the only version I'm fairly sure they'd even still have
hmm
access to, if they still have it now,
hmm
is I think a variation of either the PC version
hmm
or the slightly earlier original Xbox version.
hmm yeah. The
The PS,
question is
the
if they
PS,
even have the
yeah,
code for that
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. So
Because at that point, just reverse engineering might be the only option, and that's not good.
yeah, not
So
exactly.
I don't think they went with that. Don't think so.
Damn. Well,
Mm.
now I understand why people were one part excited and then immediately pulled a U and went full on skeptic.
hmm
It's always a interesting sign when people go from excited to skeptic very fast. And
hmm
because I don't keep up with other studios like that, I was like, why are people so skeptical for? Because the first thing I looked at was like, oh wow, Silent Hill 2 getting a remake. Damn.
hmm Yeah.
Konami fans eating good. And then all the tweets I see after are like, oh no. Oh, this is a
hmm
problem. I'm like, wait a minute, nigga, what the fuck? Y'all went from
hmm
being excited to being like dour really fast.
Yep.
I understand. Yeah,
hmm
I don't have a lot of hopes for
Yeah.
this because if they couldn't even like get the bare idea from the trailer, or at least you know show people that they had an idea of what they were doing in the trailer. Doesn't look good for a game like Silent Hill 2, gonna be honest with you.
Yep.
Oh man, that sucks. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm not emotionally involved as much because I'm not a horror game player, so yeah, I would have hoped for something better for fans, but it's not looking good, sadly.
I'm not super invested. I do own Silent Hill 2 and 3 on PS2, but that was more of a I wanted to have copies of those games, like the original versions of those games, more than like a personal attachment. If anything, that's a bit of the collector side of me. Wanting a piece of gaming history on my shelf.
Yeah, and I mean that's certainly one of the really big titles to have there.
Yeah, that was more of a I really just want to have this because there are not a lot of other good alternatives aside from playing it on PS2. I think at this point, if you really want to play it, there aren't a lot of fantastic alternatives. So gotta pick and choose your battles, my man. Gotta pick and choose your battles. Oh goodness. Oh, anything else you could think of, sir? Good sir.
Not from the top of my head. Nope.
No,
I think we've covered.
I covered everything.
Pretty much all the controversial
all
stuff,
the,
and yeah,
all the juicy shit, right? All the the meaty nonsense. That's going down. I feel satisfied for a change. It's always good.
Man, that's good.
Oh man, I realize that every time we do one of these shows, it's only like a day. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys know, sometimes we do a show and like an hour after we stop the show, some shit pops off on the internet like an hour after we stop the show. We're like, fuck. God damn it. It's happened like as soon as like we end the show. There's been a couple times like we'll talk about a story in the show and then like there's an update to it that's like popping off and we're like we're like damn if I just waited and if I just ended up being a little later I might have been able to.
A few times we've been lucky and something happened right just a bit 1-2 hours before the show, but there have been things always. We've done the show and then a few hours later guess we have a follow-up for next week.
I guess our work is cut out for us. Thank goodness. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful episode. It's been fantastic. We follow-ups on the show don't always happen, but when they do, I feel like they're always super juicy. And this was definitely a juicy little follow-up to a story, I tell you that much right now. Never thought I'd see the day when I would go, if they're lying, this is fucking stupid, and this is the dumbest thing to do if you're lying, but I will probably never fucking know. All I know is Kamiya closed his Twitter down at the same time.
He's back from...
he's back. I'm just saying, he closed his Twitter down at the time, which didn't exactly make things great, but...
Yeah, his behavior at the time, and then his whole blocking people, and then the account being gone temporarily, that didn't look good.
Yeah, no, it didn't look good. As always, everybody, you can find our lovely show, The Turn-Based Cynics, on a variety of streaming platforms such as Apple, Google, and even Spotify. And we have our show uploaded every single Sunday to not only those platforms, but YouTube, where you can see our skeptical-looking faces in CD not buying one of my conspiracy theories. It happens. And the show will be uploaded on Sunday. Because I don't want to eat the shoe. I'd much rather not. There's no calories there, ladies and gentlemen, and I am withering away, and I need my calories. As always, as well, you can find us on Twitter at Cold Death and at Rezobasso. And if you have an interest in a particular brand of gaming content, feel free to find myself on YouTube at Rezobasso, where I play through JRPGs, and sometimes I'm good at them, and sometimes I'm not. I'm not gonna make any promises. I'd like to think I'm good at them. I'll leave that up to you. You're smart enough to figure that one out. Anyways, everybody, have a fantastic week, and we will see you all next time.
Yeah.